Welcome back. Before wedding bells ring, should you be signing a prenup? Here to help answer some commonly asked questions about prenuptial agreements is attorney-at-law with the legal team Lusk, Drasites Tolisano2, Joan Henry. Good morning, Joan.
Good morning.
Before we start and get into this, I'm not the expert. So happy to have you here. That's you certainly. What I love about your team, I was telling you in the commercial break, is you guys have expertise in a little bit of everything here. But let's talk about prenups. And what exactly is a prenup?
Well, a prenup is an agreement between two people.
Okay.
Prior to the marriage is why it's called a prenuptial. You're entering into this agreement contemplating marriage, and you're going to agree as to rights of the spouses in the event of separation, divorce, or death of one of the spouses, simply put.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would assume that they don't want to go into that discussion because they then think you're going into marriage with the idea that it's automatically, or divorce is an option.
Right.
What do you say to those people that don't want to even go there?
And it's not true, because again, we're talking about possibly death. What if one of the spouses passes away and you have certain assets like a retirement plan, you may own a home, you may have other assets that you earned prior to the marriage. Perhaps you have children from a previous relationship.
Yeah, you're saying this is very common, and you really suggest people with blended families consider getting prenups done.
Yes, exactly, because the laws in the state of Florida state that spouses are entitled to a certain portion of certain assets. So even if, again, I had given the example to you during the break of someone owning a home, and they enter into a marriage while the person owning the home passes away, well, that spouse is entitled to certain rights in that home because it was the other person's homestead.
Well, and you brought up a good point too, the fact that we are in the state of Florida, and I'm assuming that some of these laws and they're different from state to state.
Yes.
So you really need to, and I would suggest too, looking at getting an attorney and looking at some of these things. I guess there is you can do anything online?
Just about. Anymore, you can find forms, and please don't, because you're not having the discussion and what's relevant to your situation and where you live. Because again, exactly, Florida has different rights than other states.
All right, can you use the same attorney when you're talking about, different spouses? Of course you want, I don't know, what say you?
I say, if I have a client come in and they ask me to draft the prenuptial agreement for them, that's fine. I also recommend that the other party have that document reviewed by an attorney before they enter into that.
Okay.
So I've had clients that say no, or the other spouse, they don't want to have an attorney review it. That's okay. I have them sign a waiver that they had that opportunity. But
do you recommend going outside of the office? I mean, I'm assuming that right there in your office you can do that.
Well, I have them go outside of our office, so there's no conflict with our firm. And I always recommend that. It's a great idea to have the document reviewed. Most important part, too, with that is full disclosure of the assets. It's very important so that we have full disclosure of what both of the parties are coming into the marriage with.
Okay. What if you're already married? I know there's a lot of people watching this morning. Is it too late to get one done?
Never too late.
Never too late?
No. You can enter into a postnuptial agreement. I've actually had clients that were married for many years, but they didn't want the laws, again, of the state of Florida to oversee the distribution of assets, and even though they put it in estate planning documents to make sure children were satisfied, that they entered into a postnuptial agreement.
Okay. Well, and again, I think it's important to point out that it's not just about in the state of divorce, it's if death, in the family as well. And there's a lot of uncertainty and there's a lot of emotion that goes, around that time.
Yes.
Planning, I'd imagine, is the best thing to do to kind of shield yourself from a lot more pain than maybe what needs to be done.
It is the best thing to do, Carly. And again, for the investment that you're putting in, just to come in and talk to a lawyer, find out whether really that's the right path for you to go down. Check with someone and get some professional advice.
If you have the prenup, you get it done, let's say 5 years, 10 years down the road, can you change it if maybe you think something should be done differently?
Yes, as long as you're still married.
Okay.
And neither spouse has passed, so you're married, you can amend or revoke the document.
All right, easy enough. You guys do this great offer every time you're here. I love this. First 10 callers are going to receive a free consult, whether it be about this, prenups, or anything else. Again, I talked about your office has a lot of different specialties that you guys can help with. Certainly family law, too.
Yes.
So easy enough. There's the number. First 10 callers to mention the Morning Blend will receive that free consult, which essentially is priceless. So, Joan, thank you so much again. We love having you when you're here. I always learn so much. And certainly I've not talked about prenups before, so this is very interesting. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Hope we saved some families some heartache. All right, let's send it over to Steph.
Get ready for face paintings, Halloween costumes, and pony rides. Up next, we help kick off Cape Coral's Kids Fest, and you and your whole family is invited.